Most excited to hear your cool music again. So excited for that. Cool. No, I haven't. Okay, well then I definitely have to go check them out after this call. This is awesome. So, if you guys are just tuning in, we're getting the magic ready. We're super excited. Sad you didn't wear your ugly Christmas sweater today, though. I wore my little cheery red. Tra- it's about as holiday-ish as you get. Okay, cool. Um, awesome. Looks like we got some people in the chat already. All right, cool. Whenever you're ready, I'm good. I'm good.
Watch comments. Watch comments.
I'm here. Yes, I'm behind the magical screen. Hello. Hey, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It feels like Christmas morning. I was up all like late all last night, feeling like kind of like Will Ferrell in the Elf movie where he's like getting all the decorations ready, and I'm just like getting all the promotions. Ah, Santa's coming. But no, it. I'm really excited. It's a little nuts. Yeah, I agree. It's a little much. Sorry, guys. It's not the most aesthetic thing, but then again, it was like 10 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah. Heck yeah. I mean, I think like the probably one of the biggest things we should kind of just get out of the way first is like there's a lot of different categories of stuff that we're going to be covering here, including things like wearables, and we're going to talk about some of like the best testing kits, and then are like the big ticket items you might want to buy for a loved one, and how much you want to spend on them and all that stuff. And of course, some of the under $50 gifts. And then I think actually, maybe even before we go over all of the promos and the deals that, I've kind of been able to find for you guys, let's talk about should you buy something with a subscription? And because I think that's been a huge headache for me dealing with like a lot of the great wearables that are coming out this year. But like with the subscription, do you want to like put that on someone as you give them a gift? Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 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 Mhm. Yeah. So both Yeah, I think, well, right now, I mean, if you look at kind of the person that you're looking to get the gift for, I think you got to get really clear and specific on what type of lifestyle they have, kind of what you think that person might use the device for, because I personally think for somebody who is kind of a little bit more that fitness enthusiast, maybe someone who's trying to like balance out that recovery and kind of strain, it seems to me like the Whoop is an obvious choice. Now, I will say, as a huge caveat, if you are looking to buy somebody the new Whoop 4.0, do not expect it's going to get here by Christmas. It might, but I'm still 6 weeks out from getting mine. Although I did have a friend who just, Shervin shares, if you're watching, he actually sent me. Okay. Okay, Shervin, just hanging out backstage. I know he's actually traveling right now. So, yeah, well, maybe he just couldn't wait. Yeah, I mean, the last I checked on my email, it was like another 6 weeks out, and so can, yeah, yeah. So that's frustrating, right? Like if you want to get somebody a wearable, and but you can't guarantee it's going to get here on time, I think that's something you definitely want to take into account. So in that regard, like maybe hold off. I mean, I think the same thing could certainly apply to the Oura Ring 3. I ordered mine 6:30 a.m. when it went live, like on the dot, and I just got an email yesterday saying that I'm still another like 2 to 4 weeks out, and I imagine that's going to, they're backlogged. So, am I going to get it? I don't know. And so that's tough. Yeah. Oh, okay. Mhm. Yeah, I made a deal with the devil. I told Shervin that if he sent me his extra Whoop one, I would promote his affiliate code for the next 2 months on my channel. But I really just wanted to test it out. Yeah, same. Mhm. Yeah. Mhm. Oh, so he's talking about Reddit. Yeah, the Reddit or a Ring thread, which is actually a very vocal community, and I love you guys. Like, oh my god, it's amazing. Mhm. Right, right, of course. Mhm. Yeah. I don't believe that for a second. Sorry, guys. If you think that they're doing yeah, no, no, no. Because there are people who are in the space that are like, Ben has one, and, and I'm Ben Greenfield, and like, there's so many people who are influencers in the space that already have theirs. And so we know how the system works. And yes, I think they have to come up with some sort of like first comes, first serve, but priorities are made. Let me just put that way. Right. That's just the way it works. And just know. Yeah. Hmm. Ooh. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, this goes back like, gosh, I've had the Aura Ring 2 three almost 3 years now. So back when before Aura blew up, their wait time was at least 1 to 2 months, and like my fiance had waited 3 months to get his, which is insane. Obviously, they figured out supply and demand. They've scaled. So I could see. I think Chase is right. I think there's a very highly likelihood that you're probably going to get the Aura Ring before the Whoop. But I'm not, but I can't say for certain. And I have no, like, well, now I have abs. I mean, I never did, but I'm certainly not going to try and reach out and ask them any questions about that per se, because I'm about to send them all the comments. I'm on their naughty list, maybe, which is fine. Is he coming on? Is he coming on? Oh, hey. Hey. What's up, man? Great. Okay, cool. It seems very prepared. Wow. Nice. Okay. Yeah, Mary. Wow. Mm-hmm. Shervin got a second one. I don't know how. Like, we're not gonna unpack that one for this for this chat. But somehow he had a second one, and so I made him a deal that I would promote his affiliate code if he sent me his extra one. Yeah. Mm, I agree. Yeah. I think that's fair for sure. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. One One thing though I will say is, the Whoop came out a couple weeks before Aura, and I wonder if they upped their timeline as a result, because they were like, there's I mean, maybe they weren't ready to release it yet until like end of year, and then they saw Whoop came out, and they're like, well, we got to get in before the holidays. I don't know. I have no, like visibility. Hmm. Yeah, but you're not a Kickstarter. That's not acceptable. You're not a Kickstarter. This is a freaking big ass company, and they've have millions of followers, and I just don't. I can't understand and wrap my head around that. But anyway, I don't. I will say this as a blanket statement. I wrote in my, like, promotion tab. or a Ring discount. Like, are you looking for promotion? LOL. Like, it's not gonna happen. Do not expect that you're gonna like wake up Black Friday morning and be like, oh, no subscription, perfect. Like, I just don't think that's gonna happen. I think you're still gonna be, maybe you'll find like some percentage off if you use somebody's discount code, but I really think it's just gonna still be that flat price. Yeah. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 No, I agree. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I want to talk about that. Yeah. Yeah, there's also the Wesper sleep patch. I don't know if anybody has kind of heard about that, but they're these like two stickers that you wear on your chest when you're sleeping, and they're working on kind of like FDA clearance for like detecting sleep apnea. It's not confirmed yet, but it's a pretty great device. Like it does measure your total sleep time, and it's really focused on breathing quality, kind of more of those respiration type of stats, and then you also get a free consultation. Now it is, I believe they're doing a huge sale right now, like 50% off, which this is actually probably the right time to buy. Yeah, so it is. Yeah, so normally it goes 295, but if you just hop on their website, I checked this out last night through Black Friday, maybe even Cyber Monday, it's like 147. Yeah. So what's cool is like when I first tested this out on my channel, it was a 1 night patch, which I really couldn't justify the price for that. But now they've made it rechargeable. So they send you a bunch of stickers and you can wear it consistently, which I have been doing. And I've been finding the data is actually pretty relevant. Like I haven't looked at all of the wearables in comparison yet, but I mean, I think this is kind of for somebody who's just like curious about getting involved in sleep tracking. Maybe this is, a nice starter gift. That would be my opinion. But yeah, I mean, the Withings Scan Watch, my fiance actually tested this last night because I have like 14 other gadgets I'm using right now. He said the sleep data wasn't that impressive. So I have to like really do a little bit more digging myself. But what I can tell you is that they've gotten some crazy FDA clearances on like your medical grade oxygen saturation level, your ECG. Like it's a really aesthetic watch for like, it looks really good on my fiance. It's like not one of these like clunky watches, it actually looks like you could wear it at a meeting. So if that's something like, I mean, I know they have one set price and I think it's like $279. They might have a deal coming out Black Friday. I couldn't find one right now, but that's another one too. Ooh. Mhm. Yeah. They do. Yeah. Another alternative. Okay, so this is very interesting that you bring this up because I was actually doing some research last night. And when I went to add to cart and checkout, I saw something briefly that said subscription. $19 a month? Okay, I'm gonna have to leave this call right now. I got some phone calls to make. um, right. Yeah. What I will say, and as you guys know, I'm a huge proponent of the 8 Sleep. I I I will say if you cannot use the device without a subscription, I will be extremely disappointed and will stop promoting it on my channel for sure because that's not okay. It's like having a Peloton bike. And I'm saying this like right now. If you cannot actually use the device without a subscription, I think that's bullshit. I'm sorry. Like that's like having a Peloton and it being locked, right? You can't even ride your bike. If the subscription is only, now let me just finish really fast because I think it's an important thing to like harp on because I don't want anybody coming after me. But like, honestly, if you can use it and say the subscription is just going to give you some additional data points around your sleep, like your sleep tracking and stuff, fine. I can live without that. But like, if I can't even activate my pod without it, that's going to be hugely problematic. And so I think that's where we're going to have, I think that's where the conversation's going to go is like, what are you actually going to be able to do with this, $2,000 device that you're buying if it's not going to work without a subscription? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. And what one last thing I will say. Oh, sorry. Go on. Sorry. I want to just like close this loop. I mean, it's it's not about the money for me, honestly. Like I just want people to save as much money as I can. And to close the loop on the subscription thing, what I expect, and I will be very disappointed if they don't do, is at least 6 months to a year of free subscription before they roll this out. That's what Or should have done. I know that they did it a little bit with like the 6 months. You basically, everyone's kind of gets that. And, people who have had the ring get grandfathered into the lifetime. But I for something as high ticket an item as Eight Sleep, like I would expect that they're going to gradually roll this out. I actually have not seen the $19 a month anywhere, so I'm gonna look into that. But that's I don't know. I have a moral issue with a lot of this stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The wearables. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I might just give them a gift card, towards that company, or just a blanket gift card and say, hey, listen, this has been my favorite product, but I didn't want to enroll you into a subscription without your consent, and therefore I want to, help put some money towards this for you so that you can get started, but you decide. Because also, if you think about it, like the whole Whoop system is like you're incentivized to do their 18-month. And if I'm only going to be paying for like 6 or 12 months, then they've now essentially missed out on getting a better deal. So I'm not going to do that to them. I would rather just give them a gift card, or if I know they have a Whoop, like probably the best thing is like give them a gift card to buy some of their clothing online, because they now have rolled out like sports bras and pants that you can actually use your clip in. So like that might be a great gift, right? So that would be my opinion, but I'm not going to give somebody a subscription without their consent. Yeah. 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 I mean, for like my sister, I've paid for tons of subscriptions. We have a Spotify family plan. Like I've taken on my family's phone bill. Like it's you're right. Like I think it really really depends on the person and how much you think they're going to value it. I also think there is this kind of weird psychological thing where when somebody does spend that much money on this device themselves, and it's their ownership, I think you kind of hold it in a different weight than if somebody just gifts it to you. That's been my personal experience, which is again why I would encourage people to think really hard about who they're gifting it to and what their relationship to that device is going to be. The other thing that I was going to mention too is like maybe find something on eBay or Nextdoor or Craigslist. Like there's the Generation 2 is out there. I certainly found a bunch kind of in that range of like $70 to $250 for one of the other rings. Now, granted, I don't know what condition it is in and you have to figure out the size, but you can still get your hands on a couple of those out there. Mhm. Yeah. Like test kits and stuff. Ooh, love it. Nice. Mhm. Yeah. I got my levels on. Yeah. Mhm. And super inexpensive right now. Like one of the advantages of Black Friday and test kits are like they're usually one-time only purchases. And so what I found in my research last night is like Viome is doing a huge sale coming up. I think let's see, November 23rd to December 2nd, where 25% off all their kits. So right now their starter kits are like 99 just for the gut test. That so Viome is your gut intelligence test. So it's your like you send a fecal sample in the mail, you get back a lot of information relating to nutrition, diet, and they also have another like blood sample kit as well, which looks a little bit more at kind of some other biomarkers and kind of gives you like a biological age and sort of pinpoints things that you could improve holistically. So, I mean, I always start with the gut test because I just think it's the easiest. It's, super like quick to get your results back. So that drops down to $75. That seems like, sometimes under $100 for somebody who just doesn't know anything about their nutrition. That's pretty good, and I would also say like Inside Tracker is another fantastic service that I've used, and that's a full blood draw. So a lot of people, and this is if you know somebody is like with a resolution, like starting off a new health journey and they're like, I want to get all my markers in check before I start something new, I always recommend doing a full blood panel. Like this one is great. It's Inside Tracker. So they have like their ultimate package basically is going to cover a lot of the markers that you're going to be wanting to test for your lipids, your hormones, all that stuff. And so right now their original price is $589, but I guess starting Thanksgiving to Cyber Monday, they're going to be having this $200 off. I have a code. I don't remember what it is, but I'll put it somewhere, maybe in the show notes later. But it will drop. It basically like look out for this because I know it's coming. It's going to drop it down by $200, which I think is personally incredible, and it's super easy. You like go to a Quest lab or you get a mobile blood draw and they do it all for you, and then you get your nutritional stuff, and I think you have an option to book a consultation with a nutritionist. I'm not sure if that's included, but I think it's really great and helps you have a baseline. That's the most important thing here, guys. Like get a baseline before you start something new. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oops. Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. 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 Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I would yeah. I kind of want to just play devil's advocate here, Kyle. And I love when we have these kind of discussions because I think we're both looking at it from very different perspectives. Like, I think we collectively have all tried the trackers and we're kind of like we've gone through the cycle, but you have to remember where a lot of people have not even started their journey. So why we might be fatigued from all of this, people like sometimes the compliance can be really high. I take my sister for example, who was not dialed into her health at all, was eating all the wrong foods, wasn't getting sleep. I bought her an Aura Ring last year and it completely radically shifted her mindset around sleep timing and eating before bed and all of these things in ways that I never expected. But then I remember that joy that I had the first time I calculated my sleep. And you have to remember like it when somebody is trying this for the first time and they're starting to understand what their data is, meaning for their lifestyle, that can be huge and it can just set people on the right path. Would I say go out and buy all the things? Absolutely not. If you're going to spend money on one purchase, like make that a mindful purchase. And yeah, and if you do need help, like I consider myself like pretty dialed into this stuff, and yet I still booked a call with my girl Brittany. She's Biohacking Brittany if you find her on Instagram, to go over my Viome and my Inside Tracker because I was kind of getting mixed like recommendations from both, in ways that I'm like, if I'm gonna do keto again, but like this level's off here, like how do I marry these two so that it makes sense for my lifestyle and what my goals are. And so I'm talking to somebody who's an expert in the field because I just don't have that kind of knowledge on nutrition or metabolic health quite like somebody who does this for a living. So I think it's okay to like reach out to people when you're stuck. But yeah, I just kind of coming back and sort of closing the loop on the wearables thing, whether it's a wearable or whether it's some product that just gets them thinking differently about their lifestyle and routine. If they're starting from nowhere and you do one little thing for them, it could have a huge effect. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 Oh, I've looked into it. I'm still on the fence about it. I I think again, like you can get really lost in the sauce of all these like different gadgets that, are claiming all these things and then they're not 100% accurate. So that's always kind of where I love to like test things out and actually share with people if it's, if this is an integral product or not. I think the things that we've researched and have talked about on our channels prolifically, I think the things that you're seeing like transparent data coming out about, like those are the kind of products that you should be looking into, making sure there's a money back guarantee or some type of warranty in case it doesn't work for you as well. Like if the company doesn't have that kind of guarantee, then that's shady and I would not, buy that. But again, like I kind of wish there was a service out there where you could like, and I don't know how to like invent it yet, but like a library basically where you can check in and check out like different wearables to try for yourself without having to commit. Wouldn't that be awesome? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 I'd agree. Yeah. I think while we're waiting for that, maybe we can switch over to talk a little bit about some of the big ticket items out there before we get to the under $50 gifts, just to, keep in line with timing. So obviously there's, we already talked about 8 Sleep. I will be doing a little bit more research on the subscription stuff. Then there's Peloton, which I actually looked. Huge sale. Like, I mean, okay, granted, they haven't had the best press recently. I think like there's been a lot of negative press about, I mean, in addition to like the Peloton tread, but just around like their stocks. So I'm not surprised. And I think we might even see like more discounts in, the next coming weeks and maybe even after Christmas. So right now, I mean, you can get up to 350 off their Peloton Plus, which is like their bike and all the bells and whistles. And that's going on, I think, right now through the 30th. Then Fight Camp is another one that I know that I haven't personally tested. You've tried it. Shervin's tried it. What I was actually like, this is my first time going on their website last night. I was blown away by how expensive this is. This is like way more than a gym membership. I would never be able to justify the cost of $12.19 and a $39 a month like membership to do their classes. Are you kidding me? Do not buy that, guys, unless you're like training. That's insane. Yes, please. Oh, the Oculus? Yes. That's crazy. Mhm. Mhm. That's awesome. Mhm. That's awesome. And also, just as a quick note, I looked at some of the prices. They've actually come down quite a bit. It's like fairly reasonable, $299 to $399, depending on how much like gigabyte of storage you want. Obviously, there's going to be some subscription costs built into the games that you're actually going to buy for this thing. But I would say look at Best Buy, look at Amazon, look at B&H. Maybe don't go through Oculus themselves unless you see a tremendous deal, because I wasn't seeing much off of it other than maybe like a $50 promotional credit. That's kind of what the rumors are saying. So yeah, I would definitely say look, like outsource where you're going to buy the Oculus, because there's a lot of vendors that are selling it. The other thing too is like, okay, so I've tested out all of these things, the Juve, the Clearlight, the Sunlight, and the higher dose. These are also, I would say more luxury goods. Red light therapy is obviously becoming huge. Yeah, so I would say like one thing I did notice is, I mean, it's Juve is hands down like the most expensive red light device on the market for sure. And other than the beds, but in 2019 they did like $200 off their Solo and their Quad. I'm not seeing any of that right now on their website. It could happen, but that might have also been because they were transitioning from the 2.0 to the 3. So maybe they were kind of like trying to clear out inventory. So I'm not sure we're going to see something as high as that, but I would say there's enough $50 to $100 promotional codes out there that you can find. Also, if you guys haven't installed Honey extension into your Google Chrome, that's fantastic. It sources everywhere for like the best coupon codes for you. So that's also something I would take into account as well. But yeah, so let's talk about Red Light. Let's talk about the Joovv. You've had some experience with other devices. I too have tried some of the cheaper ones, and they're not as effective. Obviously, you're gonna pay what you get. You're gonna get what you pay for. Like the $200 Red Light is not gonna be anywhere near as powerful as the $1,300 one. But I'd love to like kind of throw it out to you guys on what your thoughts are on that, and if it's a good gift. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think there's like a couple of things that Joovv does really well, and it's like the modularity and the extra features that you get. So they have an app, a companion app that goes with it. And what I looked at, I was doing a lot of research because I'm actually working on a Joovv review, which is going to come out hopefully next week. There's so many additional features to having the Joovv that you don't get in a lot of these other devices. They have ambient mode if that's something interesting, because I think one of the things is like, yes, these are great for therapeutic, but like, what do you do with this expensive device? All like, if it's just sitting around your house, having the ambient mode is nice because if you don't have hue lights, which we can talk about is like one of the best gifts under 50, having a red light ambient mode is nice, in your house to kind of illuminate things as you're trying to get ready for bed. So that's an additional feature. And I think you're right. I think the it does, and it has different gradients of ambient. So 25% to 100 of ambient red light that is not going to be the therapeutic grade. That's something that makes this thing more valuable to me. But I want to just say one last thing that came to mind when you were mentioning the red light bed. If you are thinking about a gift for someone and you're like, hey, they live near a Restore Wellness, or they live near Bulletproof Labs, or they live near some place that has some of these holistic kind of therapies where you can do maybe a little bit of biohacking and a little bit of, like IV drip or whatever you think the person might be interested in, get them a gift card there. Have them start trying these things out. And then maybe that even helps put them in touch with like a coach or a trainer or a nutritionist. Like it just kind of gets the ball rolling. So that's also another great alternative gift to think about this year. Oh, great. Yeah. That's awesome. I know we're coming up on the end of the hour, and I know you got a hard stop, Brandon. So we can just quickly run through some of. Oh, okay, cool. Yes, super expensive. Yeah, it's all good. Um, Stocking stuffers. Yeah, I got quite a few. I got Philips Hue is hands down. You can find the Philips Hue. Yeah. And you can actually get those for $50 off right now. This is technically not 100 if you're buying a bundle, but check out Best Buy, guys. Like they're having some sick deals on Philips stuff. They even have like the light strips that you can kind of, I think we talked about this on our retreat, Kyle, that like having light lower on the ground is actually really good for your eyes, kind of readjusting as you're getting ready to bed. So like rather than having all of your like like overhead lights, red, like maybe think about some floor strips that you can get that are going to be cheaper and they're going to help set your circadian rhythm when you're going to bed. So those super cheap. Nice. Nice. Yeah. Super, super cheap. I, mm-hmm. Which one are you using right now? Because I actually ordered the Blue Blocks sleep mask. This company makes light. They make actually glasses, masks, and like a red light device. So they were having a huge sale, by the way, like 25% off everything right now. Cool. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. He's like, I'm not quite as business savvy as you are, Kyle. Literally making deals left and right. I'll give you my course. I'll give you this thing. I'll get you magnesium. Like, yeah, I love it. I love it. You're such an inspiration. Like, I'm like, you're amazing. I'm like, I don't care if you use my code and you're like, blah, blah, blah. You're awesome. No, it's great. It's cool. I was gonna say there's another thing like if you're you have a friend or a family member who is a smoker and they're like I want to quit for the beginning of the year. There's actually a great product that I highly recommend. I'm not a smoker, but I've actually gifted it to two people who are now ex-smokers that have kind of helped use it to quit. And it's called Fume. It's an essential oil inhaler. You may have seen Ben Greenfield use it on his. I think he kind of helped blow them up, which he usually does whenever he talks about a product on his channel. But I actually really love it. And it comes in this like really cool inhaler. And basically what you do is there's a little like kind of almost filter, but that's what's called a core. So it's infused with essential oils. The one I'm using right now is candy cane, but it has that peppermint kind of aroma, and you just inhale it, you kind of hold, and it's a great, like, because of the oral fixation with smoking, it's actually really nice. The kind of like it's called Fume, Fum, with a oh, I love them. Yeah, they're amazing. They're amazing. They're such a solid company. They're based out of Canada. This is made out of olive wood, which is, I mean, this is like high quality. I think that they're severely underpriced for what they offer. I highly recommend it. I've got a no bike. Are you at the well, by the way, in Austin? I'm really jealous right now. It looks so nice. Love it. Love it. That's us. Yes, love you, Fume. I think they're just an incredible company. They're like, I mean, they've really just engineered a product that is like can work for pretty much anyone. Like, I'm not a smoker and yet I enjoy it. I use it before my runs and I just find that like it's a pleasant experience. And then for people who are smokers, I think it's a great kind of foray into helping them sort of think differently and kind of get, help quit the addiction altogether. So highly recommend their holiday box. It came beautifully packaged and it's great. It's like you just ship that out. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe you don't know too many cigarette smokers. I'm just kidding. That's because you don't live in New York. That's because we live in like, you live in like what? Yeah. No, it's not just, I mean, I think it's like the design of the essential oils too is, they have different flavors that some can help evoke what that tobacco kind of flavor would be, with a little bit of that black pepper pipering thing. But others, like peppermint, is like, this is what like a lot of trainers do at the gym anyway when they're tenting. Like you've seen guys like put like peppermint and then tent as like a way to like just open up your airwaves. Like that's what I use it for. Okay, all right. Okay, well, I never did smelling salts. Yeah, I've never done that. I'm just like, okay, let me get my little peppermint oil and like just dab it on, like, okay, now I'm ready. Lift. uh yeah. Totally. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it really worked for my sister. Like she's been a non-smoker for 6 months now, and yeah, and I know that Fume helped her get there, and I was sending her tons of cores all the time. I was like, hey, talk about, like, I would be like, okay, this is an example of something I'd be like, yes, I'm going to pay for your subscription because I know this is actually going to help you a lot. So, but their subscription is super low, and I think it's just a very, very reasonably priced product. Other than that, I would say, I mean, last thing I would maybe mention is, I don't know if you guys have ever used Everlywell, but I was checking out their website and they have a ton of super cheap tests right now. Like if you're looking at certain markers for yourself, and again, like if we're talking about baselines, maybe you don't want to go get the entire, kit and caboodle of all your blood draw, but like some of their test kits right now are like, let me see what I wrote down. I think it was like 25% off, and like that can save you a ton of money over time. Like if you're, like the food sensitivity test, like, brings it down from 159 to 120. But they have tests on there that are like $50 to start. So it's super cheap. Could be a great gift if you know somebody's like specifically dealing with something, women who are trying to get pregnant, there's a fertility test on there. Men who are trying to optimize gains, there's a testosterone and like male hormonal, I don't know if you'd want to gift that to a friend, but like, a family member or somebody that like you've had open conversations with about, like you can check them out because I think, now is kind of the time to load up on kits if you can with the sales that high. Yeah. It says specifically 4.0, but I haven't tested it. It's actually funny. Like, I hope Shervin's not listening, but I was actually thinking about sending him like a stocking stuffer, like Whoop, like pair of like a shirt or something for Christmas. I don't know where he's going to be at the time, but I thought that would be really cute just as a way to say thank you for like letting me have this one. So I hope you're not listening, Shervin. But if you are, like, what's your size? Extra large. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean, they look great. Like the sports bras look adorable. I'm totally gonna buy one. And then also think about where the placement is. Like if you're wearing a sports bra and then the tracker is now closer to your heart, hopefully the readings are going to be even more accurate when you're doing some of this like extraneous, work. So like I saw that sports bra, the Anywhere, and I was like, that is really cute. Now, I guess 64, but if you have I guess the Whoop membership, it's 64, right? And then I'm guessing they're going to do some type of sale. I imagine they'll have something on Black Friday that will bring that price down. Um, mhm. Mm. That's cool. In the meantime, I also want to mention one other thing that is somewhere between the $50 to $100 range. But they might end up going down. Like I'm keeping my eyes peeled on this company on Black Friday because I love it. Athletic Greens. If you haven't tried, it is one of the most comprehensive, nutritionally dense green juice that doesn't taste like shit. And I mean, I've heard Tim Ferriss talk about it. I've heard Joe Rogan, like everyone's talked about it. And when I finally got my hands on it, I was like, okay, I think they're right. It's extremely expensive, like for their subscription. But if you don't use it every single day, you can get more, like you can get a longer, length of time out of it. So I wouldn't necessarily do like their, once a month. I still have an extra bag. And so I'm probably doing more like averaging like every 2 months I'll need to replenish. It's great though. And I feel so much better drinking it before coffee than just drinking my coffee first thing in the morning. So highly recommend Athletic Greens, and they have a ton of different discount codes you can find, but they might have a good sale on Black Friday. So definitely check that out. Awesome. Yeah. Mm, yeah. I agree 100%. Yeah, Quinton is something that we both actually use. If you're into the kind of like optimizing your water and getting the best trace minerals you can, like that's a fantastic um, company. They have a very easy disposal mechanism for getting that into your water too. It's super convenient to travel with. Have you tried eight greens effervescent? No, I haven't. Is that like Athletic Greens? I'll have to look into them. That's a great one, Chris. Yeah, that's cool. Mm. Oh, thanks. I'm just I'm wrestling with like, okay, well, my favorite device I think to date is my 8 Sleep, but can I justify paying that much to gift that to someone? Not entirely sure. But I would say hands down that's been the biggest game changer, especially living in Hawaii, especially like, it being so hot all the time. And even when traveling, like I saw a huge dip in my REM scores and my deep scores across all my trackers. And so not having that consistent cooling at night, like it does affect your sleep. Um, but I also like, I think I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. Prior to the Aura Ring debacle, I would have said the Aura Ring. I'm testing out the Whoop, so I can't really say for sure if I would, gift that to someone yet. I think it depends on their goals. Some of the best products or experiences with products I've had, CGM levels has been fantastic. I do realize that they're high priced, and I found that their app and the information and how they basically synthesize it for you, and it's so well done. I think they're the best CGM company out there right now. And so, if you can afford it, and I know they're looking at ways to bring down the price, I think it's a solid investment. Yeah. Yeah. I'd also add my sauna has been huge too. I know we've done, like, Kyle's done sauna therapy. I've done sauna therapy. I think it is, I use it at night, and I find that it's so relaxing, and it's a great way to detox and kind of, I've gotten tremendous value out of mine, and I'm sad to be having to sell it because we're leaving, but I'll be getting another one when we get to California, where it's going to be way colder. No, not. Listen, it could cost us a lot to ship our car to back to the mainland. It's gonna, yeah, we're trying to cut down those costs. So, anyway, yeah. She's not a big fan of the Whoop. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think Whoop does a better job, to be honest. And I've looked at both of them, and I think it's what I would love to see, though, and I have to play around a little bit more with the app, is how you track these things over time. Because I think it's one thing to just like no, like have an annotation on the app, but then do you ever go back and look at the, like, I want to see those in kind of trends. Hmm. Yeah. It's also, I agree. I have to say, there's been one thing that has been really nice with this. It's like it fits in different places that are less obtrusive. Like I think sometimes having to wear a ring if I'm doing any type of kickboxing, which I don't really do, but like just in theory, if I were to pick that up, this would not be ideal. And also, I hate like sometimes it gets stuck on my fingers. Like you want it to be tight, but then if it's too tight, you can't get it off. Whereas the durability and like the flexibility of being able to just put the charging cable on, and then never having to take this whoop off. I think it's just like that's what I wanted to see with the Aura Ring, and I just am so disappointed. Like the Aura Ring, I don't know. My feelings about it. I'm still gonna try to be objective when I do my. I will be objective when I do my data analysis, but can't help but still be disappointed by what they come out with for their generation 3 when I expected so much more. So. Mhm. Mm. Mhm. Hmm. Yeah. I love that. That's great. I can totally field some more questions. I would also say, like, speaking of mental health, what's changed my life is Joe Dispenza's meditations. And my friend Skip, Josh, Kyle, like, so many people told me to do it. And I finally listened. And you can actually, like, I would recommend going about this route, which is the Gaia course, GAIA. They have, like, his kind of, all his different courses that he has there. And so I started out there. Um no, I think it's just GAIA. Yeah. Oh, it's yeah, that's it. I didn't do that course. Think there was I forget which one I did, but there was I'll link it for you guys after. But I went through one of his live courses and I was just blown away by the information because he's able to take some of the heavy duty science of meditation and what's actually happening in your brain, in addition to some of the more like esoteric or like woo woo stuff. And he makes it so accessible to people. And then in that course, there's also, actual meditation sessions. I have found this to be incredibly powerful if you are going in with the right intentions. And I use it every day. And I absolutely am. It's a game changer for me. So the course I think is like $200 online, but I would highly recommend starting with the course rather than just like YouTubing Joe Dispenza, because I think it's not always accessible to everyone right out of the gate. Like I think you really need to understand first what his kind of thought process is for why he delivers the kind of content he does. That's been huge for me. So that's a great mental health kind of gift if you want to gift the gift of Gaia. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we were just together in Austin a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, he is one of those people that like he practices what he preaches. I think we all do, but I think it's like you spend 5 minutes with Kyle and you're just like, oh my God, like he's so dialed in, he walks the walk and it's incredible. I know. I'm just like, I want to be more like Kyle, and especially on the business side, because I'm not good with that. I hate talking about money, and he's just like he's great. Yeah. So definitely hit him up for his sleep course, though. I've taken it. It's amazing. Yeah, it does. It's so fun. Yeah. Yeah. This was amazing. And I think we should absolutely do one kind of at the end of the year, maybe just as like a wrap up of like what we've got as gifts and talk a little bit about that. It's always fun hanging out with you, Brandon, and you too, Kyle, wherever you are. But yeah, I mean, like reach out to me. I'm at Katie Type A, or, either one of us can kind of field any of your questions that you might have about other products that we maybe didn't mention here today. And we're happy to help you out. Yeah. You too. Awesome.